show you how to play. But some pretty neat cards. After this stream, we are going to try to go to a card shop by my place. They are doing giving away some promo stuff for the card game. So we're gonna go over there, see if we can get some promo stuff, and show that on the next episode. Because I know the leader card, like this one, was just Super Saiyan God Goku, but the promo card is the Hollow Super Saiyan Blue Goku leader card. So that should be interesting. Hopefully we'll be able to get that for the next episode. And then, so we'll be trying to play that during our episodes, figuring out how that card game goes. And then if not, we'll also talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because that's something we really like to do.
Yeah.
Maybe get some duels in, talk about Duel Links, the show, just talk about episodes, just nostalgic stuff, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe have some live duels or anything just for fun. But that's some of the stuff we're going to try to do as we get closer to getting caught up with the show as it is now.
Yeah, and then the girls are hard at work doing the anime show. They finally started off. So actually one of the girls that's part of that show, she's a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. So whenever we need to do filler episodes of our own, when there's a lapse or like a gap in Dragon Ball Super, or, when only one episode is out and, one episode isn't going to cover a whole hour's time, we'll probably cover maybe you can start off with season 0 and then work all the way up to like Duelist Kingdom.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah. Well, it's just in the works right now, so nothing's set in stone just yet.
Right. But just talk about a little bit with our hiatus for a while. We had Phoenix Comic-Con here.
Had to prepare for that. Some of those, whoever, saw our pictures.
Yeah, I mean, we had some of that going on. That was fun. They had some pretty neat stuff. They had the voices of Goku and Vegeta there.
So sad that Chris Sabat closed his line early, so I didn't get a chance to get his signature. I only got Sean, who is Goku.
The voice of Goku.
Yeah. And what would you say your highlight from the con was?
My highlight was when me and my girlfriend went. She got to meet what's his name from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, Opie?
Opie, that's his name. Oh, the guy that plays Opie. And he's also in Remember the Titans as one of the linemen, defensive linemen. And so she got to meet him, got a picture. She was very excited about it. So that was pretty much the highlight of my day, just seeing how happy she was to get to finally meet him.
Did she get starstruck?
Yeah, like at first she's like, oh, it's like X amount of money for a selfie. And I'm like, you're going to do it. Like, I'll pay for it regardless. And then she went up there and she was like, cheesing all over the place, so it was fun.
And then another part of the hiatus is we did have a different creative team, and there's just some schedule constraints and also some creative differences. So I wish that person the best of luck in their new efforts, and we had to get equipment on our own and learn how to do this stuff as well. So I'm barely starting to learn how to do any of this, but that's where we're at now. It's a shame that we lost our editor, but sometimes life just gets in the way, and that's as much as I can say at the moment. So
yeah, I mean, we only had like a few episodes at the shop, but I mean, stuff happens. We're gonna, as you can see, this is my apartment. So in an earlier episode, we did it in the kitchen. We were in my kitchen, so now we've kind of got a better setup now, and hopefully if you're here, we can try to get consistently episodes in for you guys. Obviously, life happens, and sometimes we're not gonna be able to record. Like next week, we might not be able to record, but we'll be back, and we're gonna have stuff. So we're gonna try to get back on the grind and get you as many episodes in as possible.
Exactly, and try to provide any and all coverage of whatever's going on with Dragon Ball Super as well.
Yeah. So one thing I know, Xenoverse 2, they just had their DLC 4 drop this month, I believe, or just last month. So you can get Zamasu fused with Goku Black, and you can get Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta or Vegito. So go ahead and download that if you haven't already, so you can get those guys. And then if you haven't heard already, when with E3 last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever
I think it was about 2 weeks,
Dragon Ball Fighters. That's going to be the big game once it comes out early next year. That's the game everyone's craving about. It looks really good. It has it's 2.5D, so it has some 3D-ish to it, but it looks like a Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually excited for that. And you know, IGN posted a video of 7 things you need to know about the game before you actually go and pick it up. And I've been saying, everybody I've talked to is, looks like Marvel versus Capcom, and they're like, yeah, it's the same mechanics, same fighting style. So boom, I called it. Happy about that. Got to brag a little bit.
Yeah, you can no longer just be a button smasher. There's gonna be some technique involved to playing this game. So I'm pretty excited about that. Like, I feel like Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1 was kind of like that. There was no side B and then boom, you Kamehameha wave. You gotta square B
Energy.
and then boom, Kamehameha wave. So I was really good at that game. So
Yeah.
I can't wait for fighters to come out, and the mechanics and everything that it showed in the trailer just looks amazing.
Yeah. And they did explain the little bar at the bottom, so it's kind of like the SNK games too, or the Marvel vs. Capcom. So you fill up that meter. That meter will also adjust and help you transform as well. So you'll start off as a base character, and then you have to build that meter up in order to transform.
Yeah, and then also with like moves, right? Like certain moves
Yeah.
with certain levels to the bar. So that should be fun.
So got to build up a couple of combos before you can actually build up a Kamehameha or, you know, Gallic Gun or whatever.
Yeah, you can't just spam it right off the bat.
Right.
They didn't do that in the show. It's not like they just spammed it left and right. Like, yeah, Goku can do it. He does it pretty often, but he's not just Kamehameha the whole show.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's definitely going to help out in case this game does become, you know, like a tournament type of deal. So I think that's definitely going to help out.
Yeah, it's going to be the big game that a lot of people are going to be playing in tournaments near the future. So definitely get in, grind in that game and get good if you want to do those tournaments.
I actually get an arcade stick for that too.
Yeah.
The bit of news I have is it's not related to our show, but oh, I just lost it. Sorry. So Adult Swim on July 4th will be doing a Attack on Titan marathon. So it'll be all of season 1 and leading up to the premiere of season 2. So season 2 has not been released here in America, you know, dub. So that's something you look forward to. Season 3 just ended over in Japan, and I guess that this season was the closest one to the manga. So everybody's saying it's really, really good. It's been getting a lot of praise.
Yeah, I haven't watched season 2 yet. I saw season 1 on Netflix, so I can't wait to see season 2. Kind of waiting for that to get dubbed a little bit more, or when it gets dubbed, so then I can watch it. But I mean, I have to watch it with subtitles, not a problem. But just a shout out to we did have a viewer, but he's might be gone.
We had 3 at one point.
Yeah, my girlfriend's cousin Josue and Jacobo Hernandez. Just a shout out to you guys. I know you guys talked about it, so thank you for watching, being a viewer, and I'll see you guys next time I'm in Yuma.
Woo! Do you have any more news you want to discuss?
Dragon Ball Z. Trying to think. I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it. I guess in Universal in Japan they have that Dragon Ball exclusive ride with the new Broly that's gonna actually be a movie.
Yeah, and I think they said that tonight's episode they're also gonna give a little clip of the upcoming Dragon Ball movie that's coming out too. So that's gonna be pretty badass.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah, the new Broly looks pretty cool. So
yeah.
I mean, you just can never kill Broly. Like you think he's gone, and he just comes back.
So does that mean that they're gonna make him canon now?
It's hard because from the episodes that if you haven't seen them already, which I'm sure all of our viewers have, except for probably us, but the little clips I've seen like Instagram and Twitter and everything is there's a female Broly, and so a lot of people are like, oh, Broly's canon. I mean, we try to timeline it, and it's not canon. I mean, with the timeline, it doesn't work unless you're thinking different universe, different dimensions, or something.
Well, the first Broly movie does fit in the timeline, but after the sequels,
I guess, yeah.
Actually, the third one fits in that timeline too, but the second one is the one that's kind of iffy.
True.
Yeah.
True. But I mean, hopefully, maybe we can see Broly in Super. If not, I mean, it's fine. But everyone will count him as canon, even though he's not canon. He's a main figure in the Dragon Ball universe. So
whenever there's another con and they have Akira who can always just like, hey, so is he canon or not?
Yeah. So I think that's it for me when it comes to Dragon Ball news. I think that's pretty much it.
I don't think I have anything else. I mean, besides just really quickly, VR, since it's getting pretty huge, they're actually developing a Dragon Ball VR game. So get that when it comes out, if you have the money.
Yeah.
Because VR setups are expensive.
Yeah, VRs. I think I have one. Sprint gave us a free one.
Oh, well,
he gave me a free one. But I mean, like a VR, I know what you're talking about, though. Those are expensive, yeah.
All right, I think that wraps up the news section. So we're going to start off with the cooler movies. We did lose part of the cooler movie in the other show in the other episode, so we're just going to really breeze through it. This movie starts off with Frieza destroying planet Vegeta. And basically Cooler is watching from a spaceship, just, not really caring if he does destroy planet Vegeta. There's a rogue pod, and then, he just says he got sloppy, so it's his fault if, he let one escape, and that was Goku's pod going on the way to Earth. And basically, yeah, he destroys, planet Frieza, and then Vegeta. Frieza destroys planet Vegeta, and what happens next?
So after that, like you said, Cooler doesn't care about what happened. Lets the pod go. Time jumps into present Dragon Ball time. So Goku and So it's Goku and his family. Gohan, I guess, is trying to study, or Goku's cleaning. He's cleaning around the house, and Chi-Chi's wondering why he's doing that. And it's because he wants to take Gohan out to camp. So him and Krillin and I think Master Roshi and them, they go out to camp.
Oolong.
Yeah, Oolong, and they go out there. And while they're there, Goku can sense some energy and find out that there's some Cooler's henchmen. They are on the Earth because they tracked down Goku after hearing that someone had killed Frieza. So they looked for that power source. Goku found him on Earth, so Cooler went to go find him. And so the henchmen are out there. They're fighting. Goku kind of beats them all up, and then Cooler shows up and just like one death beam, and like Goku's like on the brink of death after that.
Yeah. They find a cave. They store Goku in that cave, and they're just biding their time, not really knowing what to do. At this point, they get the idea like, oh hey, we should go talk to Korin. Korin might have some senzu beans. Get the senzu beans, and give Goku, and we'll save the world.
Yeah, so Gohan goes out to go get the senzu beans while trying to not be sensed by the henchmen, and he eventually gets the senzu beans, tries to fly back, but then gets caught by the henchmen, and then Piccolo shows up, takes on the henchmen. Yeah, all the time, always saving Gohan. And Gohan flies off to get the senzu bean to Goku, and Piccolo pretty much like takes on, I think it's like 3 of them. He like blows one up in the face, and the other one, I don't remember what he does, but he pretty much beats him up as well.
The only one that survives is Salza, and that's a guy with the energy sword.
Yeah.
Probably the most skilled fighter out of his group, too.
Yeah. And so Goku gets the senzu bean. He gets healed, and then I think he finishes off the rest of the henchmen on his own, and then Cooler shows up, finds him, like, all right, let's take care of business, and everybody else leaves, and Goku takes on Cooler.
At this point, they're kind of blow for blow. They really can't touch each other, but you can tell that Goku's getting worn out. What happens next?
So let me get the notes here. So Goku, he charges up all the way, takes on Cooler. But Cooler's pretty strong in this state. He kind of looks like Frieza's final form, with just the bald head and just the tail, just a very simple looking form. Yeah. And so Goku catches some punches, and once he punches Cooler, and like nothing happens, and so Cooler eventually decides that he just transforms, and he turns into this new transformation and decides to take on Goku, and Goku at this point is just getting obliterated all over the place. I think he even goes Kaioken and doesn't do anything.
And he takes a Kamehameha wave to the face and survives, punches through it too.
Yeah, he punches through the Kamehameha wave, punches Goku, knocks him to the ground. And then Cooler decides to do his supernova, his special technique, where he, like Frieza did, blew up planet Vegeta. So he uses it, throws it at Goku. Goku is trying to hold it back. He's having a hard time holding it back. Senses that there's no way of it, that they're going to be able to win. And then just like in all the Dragon Ball movies, and the near moment of defeat, Goku digs in. He goes Super Saiyan, and then Kamehameha waves the energy ball right into Cooler, and then blasts him into the sun.
Yep.
And at that point, Cooler realizes that Goku was the one that killed Frieza, or Goku was the one that escaped once Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta. And so that was his own undoing. If he had just killed him, would have never happened. And he gets blown up into the sun.
That's something that, you know, came back and bit him in the butt.
Yep. That wasn't too cool.
Yeah. Bumps. Second movie, actually, saw this one this morning. Definitely, like I said, before we get into it, I just think that, I don't know, I really liked it and really enjoyed the action. I did catch something else. I think it was a different, maybe head animator or different animation team, but definitely the facial expressions from all the characters were, you know, different from the previous episodes and previous movies. So I think they just had a different lead animator for this one.
Yeah.
Or a different animation company, which was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the action was really good too.
Yeah.
So pretty much with this one, it's Cooler's the return of Cooler, and what happens is that a giant moon crashes into New Namek, and like it just starts like absorbing the planet. It looks like an octopus chilling on the planet, and it just starts making home on there. And so these androids show up, and they like enslave all the Namekians. And then Dende senses this and finds Goku and is like, "Hey, Goku, can you help my planet? It's in need." So then Goku, not Roshi, I think it's Oolong. Oh no, Roshi goes. Roshi goes, Gohan and Piccolo, and Krillin, they head out to Namek to see what's going on. And then they show up, and I don't remember. Goku, I think sees Cooler, but they don't do anything. It's just like a standoff, and it cuts to Piccolo and them fighting the robots, which were really hard for them to do any damage to. At this point,
they had pretty thick metal, I guess, or armor, you can call it, because they were punching it, and you know, you would just see them get bruises and complaining that it hurt to punch them,
which is shocking because that never happens. Yeah. And so yeah, they're having a hard time, and then Piccolo's like, "Hey, just focus all your energy in your punches," and so they just punch like really hard, I guess, and then they start blowing up the robots.
Focus all your energy into your blows.
So it's like an energy punch.
Yeah, because the first one, it's still a fist, and then energy comes out of it and blows up the first robot.
No, yeah, that's true. And so, like, they start doing that to blow up the robots, but then eventually the robots start getting the upper hand because there's so many of them. I think at one point, a bunch of them shoot out their arms at Piccolo, and they're like one of them shooting at Piccolo, and a bunch of them have their arms attached to him. And then he like explodes, like he just gets a bunch of energy and just explodes and destroys a bunch of the robots.
Yep. At this point, there's still a lot of them, so he reaches into the ground, stretches his arms, and starts taking out some more.
Yeah. And so then eventually, I think what happens at this point, like Krillin and Gohan get kidnapped. They pretty much get taken. And I think Piccolo goes after them. And then it cuts back to Goku and Cooler. And so they're having a standoff, and they decide to fight. But Goku's having a hard time, again fighting Cooler because now he's Metal Cooler. Yeah. Because the Big Getty Star, he's enhanced with the Big Getty Star. So they're fighting. Goku is just trying all he can, and then eventually he turns into I think he goes Kaioken, and then he eventually goes into Super Saiyan, and then that's where he kind of gets even. I think Cooler's still a little bit stronger at that point because Goku has the same problems like the others. He punches him, but he's made of metal, so he doesn't feel anything, and it actually hurts him. So he has to focus his punches. So Goku goes like flying towards a Cooler. And then with all his might, he just like punches into Cooler, but it blows up like his arm and like his side of his body. And Goku thinks at that point, oh, it's like got it. It's like he's about to be done, and then he just regenerates.
Yep.
And then he explains that because he's part of the Big Getty Star, that the Big Getty Star sees whatever weaknesses somebody has and enhances them to where they're not weak anymore. So throughout the battle, no matter what, Cooler was going to get stronger unless he was fully destroyed.
Right. And they also have a little discussion of the instant transmission. And
yes, that was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Because what was it? I'm gonna try to find it in my notes here. Oh yeah, so Goku teleports behind Mecha Cooler, but then Mecha Cooler teleports behind him. And yeah, he tells him, it's like, oh, like you can teleport, like so can I. And so they have like this fight in like the what would the word be? They're in limbo, I guess. So they're like another dimension, just kind of like teleporting all over the place,
kicking each other's butt.
Yeah, and then it's like it's all reddish, weird, like 3D looking, and then I think Cooler eventually like hits Goku and then starts choking him. He's about to crush his throat. He's pretty much about to finish him, and then all of a sudden Vegeta shows up. Vegeta's like the Piccolo, and he goes
every time. Whenever Goku's in danger, Vegeta just comes in and saves him. He's like, no, you can't kill him. That's my job.
Yeah. And so then he does that. He saves Goku, and he tries to take on Cooler, and he runs into the same problem. He gets his butt whooped.
Yeah. And that's they work together sort of to fight that Cooler off. And then Goku comes up with the idea like, hey, just so you know, we kind of have to both blast them together if we're going to make this work. And he's like, well, I don't take orders from you.
Yeah. And so what ends up happening, they get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And so they see Cooler, and they both decide to shoot a bunch of energy blasts at him, like, constantly. So it's hard for him to repair as quickly as he was doing before.
So they overpower him that way.
Yeah, so they just blow him into pieces. And then those little pieces, they think it's over. They're, like, tired. They're worn out. And then they just turn around, and then it had that infamous Frieza look. Like when Frieza, you thought Frieza was dead by the spirit bomb, and you see him on top of the mountain, like chilling there, like looking at everybody. It was the same kind of like look that Cooler had, because he was on top of this mountain looking down on Goku and Vegeta, and then like 1,000 of them showed up, and he even told them, it's like, oh, it's like, so like if one of my weaknesses is that there's only one of me, like the big Yeti Star will make 1,000 of me then. Yeah. And so there was 1,000 of them, and
they get overpowered.
Yeah, they're pretty much done. So then
they get captured by the clones, I guess you can call them.
Yeah,
the Cooler clones. So yeah, they get captured, and then they're suspended in midair with these wires just connected to their bodies, and that's when Cooler says like, "Oh, by the way, this is how I survived, because I have to tell you how to survive, because every villain has to, give you their background." And basically, when his body was just floating in space, there was a computer chip that ended up fusing with other satellites and space shuttles, and then eventually fused with his leftover body and brains. And Cooler, I guess, overpowered or overrode the system, and that's why he was in control of the Big Yeti Star. And that's how you get Metacooler.
Yeah, so like pretty much Cooler is just like hanging as well, connected to cords, like his actual body.
His blown up face.
Yeah, his blown up face. And so it's like absorbing Goku and Vegeta's energy while they're in Super Saiyan state. And so then they notice this, like, oh, it's like, that's too much energy. So then they start pouring in more energy in him, which causes a malfunction in the Yeti Star. So it starts like blowing up and stuff.
Yeah. And the only reason why they wanted to capture, the crew and chop them up into pieces is so they could feed the energy to Cooler and power him so he could take over the world.
Yeah. And so the big Yeti Star decides to like just to haul out, and it's like, all right, we're leaving. Like this ain't going well. And so it starts leaving. And for Gohan and Krillin, they're imprisoned. And what happens is that when Goku and Vegeta start blowing up the Yeti Star, it starts weakening. So then they break out of Cooler jail, and then they start leaving because it's exploding. They get the Namekians out of there, and there's these Cooler clones that are coming down the hall to stop them, and they just explode because the machine star it's not working very well now because it's getting blown up.
Yep.
And so what happens is that before Vegeta and Goku can escape, there's a floating head of Cooler like connected to the machine, and it has a bunch of cords connected to it and transforms and makes like a giant Mecha Cooler monster looking thing. And Goku and Vegeta just I think they just shoot like energy balls at him, or Goku does, and it just causes him to explode.
Yeah, Vegeta is the one that does the finishing blow, and that's how he dies.
Yeah, they shoot balls of energy into the robot, blows them up, and then the big Yeti Star blows up, and then Namek is saved.
New Namek. Yay.
Yay.
That's the movie.
And that's it. That's it for the two Cooler movies. So then we'll go over episode 74, 5, and 73, 4, 5.
Yeah. So this one we can actually go over really quickly. It starts off with Jocko just capturing a prisoner. He's getting ramen. He's on the clock. Even the ramen chef is like, "Well, technically, aren't you on the clock?" It's like, "Nah, it's cool, man." Like he's not gonna escape. And just when he says he's not gonna escape, the creature ends up escaping and goes to Earth. And right here, this is the part we can really skip over. Vidal is watching TV. It looks like they're making a Great Saiyan Man movie. And once they do, she gets all excited, happy, tells Gohan, and then Gohan's like, "Oh wow, they're doing a movie." He's like, "But they have an actor, and what's going on? I should play him." So they end up calling Hercule. Hercule is like, "Oh yeah, I'm part of the movie too. It's great. If you guys want to go see some of the scenes, I can take you to the filming studio. We can go over there." And the main actor playing the Great Saiyan Man, he has a thing for Videl.
Barry.
Yeah.
His name was Barry.
Oh yeah, they give him an American name. I forgot. And he offers her an autograph. She denies it. He gets pissed off. So all he's trying to do is just stupid reason, trying to get revenge and trying to make a fool out of Gohan, and embarrass Videl as well because they embarrassed him. And that's when shit starts getting a little bit crazier now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the name of that alien looking thing. It was like,
it's a furry. It looks like a brain slug from Futurama, just with a bunch of white fur on it.
Yeah, Wadagash.
Wadagash,
I think is what it was called.
I didn't even bother writing that name down.
Yeah, it's just like a little fuzzy looking thing with some tentacles on it. So pretty much if it connects to somebody, it makes them stronger depending on how much evil is in them.
Yeah.
And so pretty much in these 3 episodes, yeah, like you stated, they're making the movie. Barry's trying to what ends up happening is Gohan becomes the stuntman for Barry because he does this for a living pretty much. He is the Great Saiyan Man. And so he becomes the stuntman. He's able to do all the tricks so easily. And then what ends up happening is that Gohan starts learning lines from the actress in the movie. I think her name is Coco.
Coco, yeah.
Yeah, so he starts learning, getting the lines, training with her. And then Barry sees like, oh, the girl likes Gohan. You guys should go do your lines together. Pretty much trying to set up Gohan and make it look like he's
cheating on Videl.
Yeah, cheating on Videl. And then they end up going out, or she ends up finding out that Gohan is the actual Great Saiyan Man.
Because of the conversation that he was having with Bulma on the rooftop.
Yeah. And so he flies her home, and then Coco, and then once he does, before he does that, Jocko shows up and like almost blows him away.
Yeah.
I think it's because he
thinks that Wadagash infected Gohan.
Mm-hmm. And so he's like, oh, what's Wadagash? And he's like, oh, he's this alien that escaped from me. I'm trying to find. And so he's like, oh, okay. It's like, I'll try to help you whenever you can. So he takes the girl home, and then that's when Barry's like, hey, we need to set him up, learn your lines. They go do that, and they practice their lines all night. And then Gohan tells her like, oh, I'm gonna leave. Or no, Barry sets up a cameraman outside to try to take pictures of them because this Coco chick is like a failing actress, pop star. Yeah. And so he's like, oh, we know you need get a fan base, so let's do the regular, not conspiracy, but
creating a scandal. I don't know how the hell that helps you get more
popularity.
Yeah, but whatever.
Yeah, so then nothing ends up happening. She knows that what Barry's trying to do and decides to change her mind because she really likes Gohan. Like, he's just a normal dude that's just trying to live his normal life. And so they go to the top of the building. He's about to leave, and then she gives him a kiss. Barry's there. He ended up waiting out there, took a picture of that, and then Gohan flies off embarrassed because he kissed another woman. He's married to Fidel. Gets to his house and then finds that Barry's there with pictures of everything. Shows Videl, is like, oh, look what Gohan's been doing behind your back. Can you believe this? And then she's like, it's like, you can stop. It's like, I know this ain't Gohan. I'm sure there's a story behind it. Yeah. And then Barry's like, oh, what the heck? It's like, he got turned down again by Videl. And so he goes outside, and that's when Wadagash takes over him, and he just becomes super buff.
And hairy.
Yeah, and he breaks in, and he steals Pan. He knocks out Gohan, steals Pan, and wants them to meet him at the TV station. And a note that I left on there, the TV station, if you recognize it, if you ever watched Digimon, the original Digimon series.
It's been ages since I've seen Digimon.
You watch it, the Venom Iotismon arc in there takes place at that TV station.
Oh, wow.
It's like a building, and then like it has like the bridges that go across, and there's like a ball in the middle. Okay. And I remember it because that ball breaks off. The building's there in the whole thing, but I think Iotismon blows it up, and then the ball falls. And later during the battle with War Greymon and Metal Garurumon, War Greymon gets the ball and throws it at Iotismon's crotch, pretty much, because there's like a monster that comes out from there. It was weird, but yeah, it's like the real my Otismon that's taking over the giant demon version of it, and he throws it at it, and that's when they do their ultimate attacks on it and blows up my Otismon. But yes, that TV station that you see in this scene is in Digimon.
Good to know.
Yeah, so pretty much Barry has Pan on the TV station. They think it's part of the movie, but it's not. And so Gohan shows up as the Great Saiyaman, and Videl is able to get Pan away from Barry, and then Great Saiyaman takes on Barry, pretty much beats him up pretty well, and he transforms again into like an ogre, black ogre looking thing, and then grows like gigantic in the city. And so Gohan like gets his butt whooped because he has like laser beams.
Yep.
Shoots laser beams, shoots like Gohan into like the atmosphere, and then Videl is talking to Coco, and Coco's like, "Oh, it's over. Like, how can you have so much faith? Like, it's over. Like, there's nothing we can do." And she's like, "Oh, Gohan's never gonna fail. Like, he's never gonna show weakness in front of Pan, and like that's why." And then she's telling her that's why she's able to be so calm in such a bad situation. And so she yells at us like, "Gohan!" I don't know exactly what she says. I can't remember, but she says something to Gohan, and then Gohan like snaps out of it and like flies down back to Earth, and then he goes Super Saiyan. So he's called the Super Great Saiyaman, I think.
Yeah.
And so he just does a Kamehameha wave, blasts Barry, and knocks him out, and Wadagash. Jocko gets Wadagash. Barry, everyone thinks this is part of the movie, so it gets put in the Great Saiyaman movie, and everyone plays it off like, oh, this was Barry's plan, like all that good stuff.
And Hercule lies for him.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's pretty much that episode. And then we have episode 75, and that's the one where Goku and Krillin start training again.
Yeah, so this is actually like now being kind of back into the regular storyline. Still kind of filler-ish, but also episode-ish. And so pretty much it's just Gohan. He wants to train. He trains with Gohan. Gohan's actually dressed as the Great Saiyaman, and they actually duke it out pretty well. But Goku only goes like Super Saiyan. But while they're doing it, they blow up the field that Goku and Chi-Chi have. So Gohan no longer trains with him. And so Goku goes to look for someone else to train with and finds Krillin. And so Krillin's like, "No, man, it's like you're way stronger than me. There's no point." And pretty much 18, like reverse psychology.
And Marin.
Yeah, Marin just reverse psychology him or whatever, and make him like, "Oh, I don't want a weak daddy." He's like, "Dad, are you weak?" And then same with 18. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want no weak husband." So he gets suckered into training with Goku, and they go see Master Roshi. They go ask him to be their trainer again. And he makes them train against each other and tells Goku, like, "Hey, you're already too strong as it is. Like, we need to, like, drop you down a notch." So he puts, like, a turtle suit. Like, he makes him wear, like, those weird, like, wooden sandals.
And the weight things on him, too.
Yeah, so he can't really move, but that doesn't bother Goku at all. He's able to still take on Krillin pretty well.
Yeah.
And so what Roshi does is he's like, "Hey, I need this paradise plant because I forgot what it does exactly."
He said that that's how long. That's one of the reasons why he has so much energy, and that's why he's so old too.
Yeah, so it keeps him like eternal, pretty much.
Or restores his vitality or whatever.
Yeah, so the paradise plant to give him, so he tells them like once they get this paradise plant, he'll teach them a new move, and so they go to this.
What was the new move? What does it do, or what did he say? Like, this move, blah 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 will happen.
I don't think I wrote that down.
And that's why they're like, "Well, you can't give us any nudie mans. We don't want any of those." And he's like, "All right, fine." He's like, "Well, actually, I still have one technique I haven't taught you guys."
I don't think he even explained what the technique was. I think he just tells them I have a new technique. And so they go to this. They go to
Fortune Teller
Baba, which is Master Roshi's sister.
Yep.
And she's like, "Here, this is the gateway that you need to go to," and it's like a giant serpent mouth. They go in there, and it's just like a bunch of dead trees and fog and stuff. And they're just like, "Oh, this is pretty creepy." And then the fog. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it reminded me of when Luke goes into the tree in Episode 5.
Yeah,
Star Wars Episode 5, and he sees Darth Vader.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Yeah, because what ends up happening is the fog turns into all the villains that have shown up, all the main villains. So Cell, Boo, Frieza, and the guy that killed Krillin,
Tambourine.
Yeah. So like a lot of like Zarbon. I think there were some other.
I think Nappa was there too.
Yeah, Nappa. a lot of former villains show up, and then it kind of ends right
Yeah,
there.
it just ends there, and the next episode actually looks pretty good. Can't wait to see that one.
Yeah. So we're at 76.
76, 77, and 78. I still want to go with a movie, so I'll do a poll on Monday, and we'll just see what gets picked to be the next movie.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. So if we do record, we'll do all 4 of those, and if we're not, then
If we don't, we can skip the movie and we can do 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, and 81.
Yeah, we'll do 6 episodes,
Yeah.
and we'll make it a deluxe episode or
Yeah.
something.
Because for those of you, I said might get wisdom teeth removed. I'm not excited, but I need to have it happen.
Yeah, and then we can also go over if we are able to get these promo Dragon Ball Super cards.
Yeah.
We can go over that as well, and then we'll just move the movie to the next episode.
Yeah. And just want to go ahead and start closing things down. Unless you need to say anything else. Want to say anything else?
No, I mean I'll just go over what you can find me at. So. My main Twitter handle you can find me at is Lone Wolf Mewtwo. So it's Lone_Wolf_Mewtwo, and Mewtwo is MEW, the number 2. And you just find me on there. So Lone_Wolf_Mewtwo. And you can find me there on Twitter. You can ask me questions, talk Pokemon, anime, Yu-Gi-Oh! I play a lot of Duel Links, so you can find me on there, request my ID, and we can duel on there for fun. Talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! I like to play the actual card game as well, so you can always find me on there. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm not on there too much. You're most likely going to be able to get contact with me on Twitter.
All right. And then you can go ahead and find me on Twitter, Daniel Von Helvet. I'm on PSN as Danny the Destroyer. That's also my Instagram handle. And then you can find me on Facebook, Daniel Barroso. You can find Geek Elite Radio on Twitter at Geek Elite Radio. You can find us on Facebook where we post articles, news, photos from conventions. And speaking of conventions, some of the Geek Elite Radio members will be in the next couple of weeks at San Diego Comic-Con. And then they're going to be at D23 Expo, which is basically Disney's giant Comic-Con. It happens once every 4 years, so it's a magical event. So some of the members will be doing live coverage, interviews, and tons of pictures and tons of updates of what we can expect from things that we geek about in the future and what's coming up. You can also find Geek Elite Radio on Instagram at Geek Elite Radio. You can find episodes of our talk show on YouTube, just Geek Elite Radio. That's where you'll find us. You'll see some other shows as well. That's where the anime show is going to be. And then lastly, you can go ahead and find us on our website at geekeliteradio.com. That's where we have archived episodes like this show and other podcasts as well. And we're on Stitcher. And that's basically like the iTunes for Android devices. That's where you can find other episodes. And ultimately, we are also on iTunes at Geek Elite Radio. And always until next time. Also, John, you want to go ahead and join me?
Yeah.
On this one? Until next time, always remember to geek out.